NTV today discusses the state of the nation, and I'm joined by two gentlemen in studio this morning. First of all is David Osiany, a public policy expert, to my immediate left, and Mr. James Mamboleo is an advocate of the High Court. Karibuni sana.
Asante.
Thank you so much for making time for us. We are expecting a third guest, Gabriel Mudhuma, who is a governance expert, should be joining us at some point during the show. But first of all, gentlemen, let's discuss the issue of Safaricom, who have appointed, or rather reappointed, Michael Joseph as the interim CEO following the death of Bob Collymore yesterday. David, what do you think about that?
Thank you very much. Foremost, allow me to pass my condolences to the family of Bob, the workers at Safaricom, the staff, shareholders, management, and the entire country for losing one of the greatest corporate titans of our time. And Bob lived his life with absolute decency. You know, Bob, if Bob had been your common people, like my good friend Lesiampe, who's now priding himself in theft, he would own half the city. But because he had values that were, you know, he had values that one would cherish and absolutely emulable. He lived his life decently. He just had what was right for him. He didn't loot the whole place dry. He introduced regulations that helped to, you know, make Safaricom indeed one of the best employers. You know, Kenya gives 3 months generally. All our parastatals in the state gives 3 months to women who have had, you know, maternity rest. Bob gave them 4 months. After that, you had 6 months to work half day. After that, he introduced daycare, 7 to 5:30. He did many other things for his staff, apart from the country. And so it's a tragic loss. However, I didn't foresee the reappointment of Michael Joseph, I must say, because I think Safaricom is not bereft of talent. While Bob was away, I bet they ably had someone to step in. I think that's a vote of no confidence in the leadership at Safaricom, which I don't think is right. I bet we have Kenyans and other directors at Safaricom who would have taken over from Bob. But that's the decision of the board. I do not want to question it. I do not know what informed it. I just hope that in the interim, Michael Joseph will do a good job.
According to the statement that Safaricom have sent to us, they say this, they will make a substantive appointment, I think, in the next few days. I'd like to believe they already have someone in mind, and this is just because of the emergency situation that they are faced with right now. But they will get to decide what happens. Bwana Mambule, what do you think?
First and foremost, my sympathies to the family of Bob Collymore, the entire Safaricom fraternity, and the entire Kenyan nation, because Bob has bestrode the Kenya landscape, both at the corporate level and in everybody's everyday's life, like a colossus. I think he's one of those CEOs that you would want to identify with, a very humble human being who, as my colleague has said, expressed himself at all times with the highest level of decency. And to move it to the next level, I think I want to score or underscore the point that, you know, cancer has become such a huge problem to many families in this country. I do not know any family which is not affected by cancer anymore. And I think that it's now high time that this country started seriously debating on how to deal with this particular pandemic. You do not have a situation in which many families are in the fairly good position that Bob was in as he dealt with his illness. It is not many that can even afford to go abroad for treatment. So because of that, I think government and all other agencies responsible for combating such kind of disease need to be more proactive in dealing with preventive causes as opposed to recuperative remedies. But even when we fall sick, we still also need to have a proper system of dealing with this disease. Very finally, on the question of appointment of Michael Joseph, I want to imagine that this is a very big corporation. The board of Safaricom PLC would want to be sure that it is in the hands of a gentleman who is tried and tested, probably in the interim, as they source for someone else to take over the mantle from where Bob has left it. I believe, as they say, that this is a stopgap measure as they look for someone. That someone could come from within or without, but of course, I think it's the board of directors' call to make.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. His remains, Bob Collymore, that is, will be interred today in a private ceremony, and of course there will be a memorial service sometime later this week. It should be a Thursday or Friday this week, according to Nicholas Nganga, who is the chairman of the board there. May his soul rest in peace.